Hi, this is Dean Carson, DCarsonCPA, MFC in the lines, with a quick sketchboard to mind map what we're here to help on. These are the PRTC lines, the communications, public relations, social, and easy lines on entity support. What this is about is awareness cycles for your entity or your individual needs in the economy. We work with strong lines of communications. We're going to walk into that. This is about a promotional line to help in the communications, fact-based awareness to help on growth, improvements, and awareness of where you can help in the economy and financials. That kind of changes across the different stakeholder lines. So we think about supporting industry lines, nonprofits and NGOs, which have different, of course, missions. Governmental lines, which could be different needs like health and outreach and stuff, and on the individual communications line. The beauty of this is we already do all this. We've been doing it for 5 years. We've got a lot of strong communications infrastructure built in here, and we've built a concept that's really good about where to connect and how to do it with lean resources, because we realize that a lot of people in the economy, their experience is not different than ours. It's a hard economy, and we're looking for lean lines and affordable ways to build up awareness lines. So there's certainly these many awareness cycles where we can help with. We work with fact-based message, and the value of our lines as opposed to someone else's is the integrated points of economic, legal, financial, IT, technology, industry, and cross-sector societal research. That's a mouthful to bring to your business and your message and purpose, but it helps to move with the message of what your business is or who you are as an individual, or what your nonprofit or non-NGO mission is, or your governmental line of needs for, let's say, public health and benefit, those type of things. Where you're reaching out to communities, the message might change some, but it certainly deals with the root of financials, a strategic and operational line where financials explain who you are and what you're trying to do and provide logistical pathways to help connect your message to the economy. And upon those pathways, our unique skills to connect economics, financials, and societal research are a strong benefit, I believe, to placing your message in the right place to help you on growth and awareness, and net offer you some solutions here which were not previously so reachable, but definitely are good points where we can add value in the economy and financials. So this DCarsonCPA PRTC lines are about communications. Let's talk about a few of the ways. We think about entities or individuals of high caliber with strong skills looking to pitch to the marketplace, looking for the global economy as a start, but really could be any point perhaps in North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe. The world could be a small point looking at New York and wanting to, work with New York and Minneapolis. We can help in those precision points, or New York and LA, or New York and Uruguay, Punta del Este, or Chile, Santiago, or, you name it, New York to London, England. It's basically start lines focused from the U.S. lines going out, but from those lines, a lot of ability to reach out in different ways, help a message, help to build awareness of your business, of your entity, of your nonprofit, NGO, or your other goals in the government lines. The only point is that where we connect in communications, fact-based communications, talks about who you are and what you do based on the facts, and then basically would not address lines like, there's certain lines that would not be able to be addressed, but that we could discuss and define when we go in here. Essentially, these lines are awareness lines to help in communications and growth. So their value is really focused on who you are, what's the good or service that you provide to the economy. Generally, we all have some good or service that we bring to the marketplace. How do you deliver it? How do you do it? And what can be the value add within the reasonable lines of being practical to what that value is. And we'll test that against the economic and financial lines of considering, what the root is to the sector and who you are in relation to your sector and how that value carries across. That noted, there's a couple value lines we'd like to talk about. There's traditional lines of calls and mailing and merchandising, helping to get that branding out to identify your business. We don't do branding, but we worked previously with people that do branding in the communications main line, so we can reach out to them and think about a logo for you and think about how to establish your mark, which I think is really important because that logo will give you a sense of pride in who you are, give your team a sense of connection, like a flag that you can rally around. It's a point of reference that helps your entity be identified. So if you don't have that, you need to get that, and that's something we can help you find, get that into motion, get it to your team, and get it out there. We can help in the web lines. That can be web development. We're not saying that we're the best web designers in the world, but we can certainly build functional websites and help you to get out there with lean resources to at least get that functional web presence there, to cross-connect it to communications lines and get you at least a good start in this area. We've seen a lot of things that are not as good as we can produce, so there's certainly good things we can do there. And with the right budget in place, we can get the technical designers in with the different skills to make it a better website for you. That's one area we'd like to help you. Web design is interesting to us to help you get something launched that's easy enough to maintain. Now, as you go to the global economy today, one of the ways that you would connect would be, of course, the web for the most reach. We talk about print and PR. The print is kind of going away, but there's still printings and mailings and stuff within our infrastructure. We keep lines of people that work in this area and keep contacts to different people that might be able to help in that area. And then we think about beyond the web and these traditional PR lines is these ICT Cloud mobile lines. That's where we really get interested. The communication lines in ICT Cloud mobile are all about social and using that knowledge. We've got 5 years deep experience, maybe more now, in going up to the cloud and finding ways to use those lines to help get a message out and to help motivate teamwork, to help motivate growth and awareness, efficiency, improvements, you name it. That's a really important line. If you look around you with everybody in their heads ducked down, well, that's who you're trying to reach. Everyone that's on some degree of a device and they're out there and they're connecting, they're shooting away the time on transport, but you can really make that productive time to reach out to them, to reach your market there. So feel free to engage with us, talk about communication cycles. We can set up a plan where we can connect. Communications to us is really an interesting cycle. It talks about social marketing. And then there's two other points that are really important to us. The public speaking line is really important to us. What happened to us is that we've got strong technical skills in accounting, financials, taxes, deep research, and related points. But all of that's of no value if you can't get out there and get the message out. So in a statistical analysis that was done, or maybe it was statistical, it's probably non-scientific societal research, I think it was in the HBR journal from Harvard. In any event, what they mentioned is that it's only 30% of your technical skills that really matter. It's another 30% of your ability to connect and build teamwork out there, and another 30%, that wasn't chance, but it was some other factor which I'll need to go back and look at. But essentially those are some pretty significant, 30% is enough of a significant part of your business that you really want to invest somewhat to have a communications line, public relations, and awareness. And to the degree you fund, it's the degree that we can get out there. We can roll out some good plans, think about strategy for awareness, think about our lines of global economic research, how it maps to who you are in the economy, and to use that knowledge to pursue the market that you wish to pursue, being that it could just be, I want to have a market in Brooklyn. Okay, let's do that. Let's start in Brooklyn, just get your market in Brooklyn. But then you're really esoteric. I want to have a market in Brooklyn and LA at the same time. Well, then we can think about how do we do that and coordinate and get that message out. We have some lean lines to get there. If you can run major ad budgets, you can also spare some money for us to see the difference we can produce. But again, we're probably building this with the small business, the SME lines in mind. And if you don't mind the just basic approach, because the simple approach for me is get your message on purpose in connection to economic value. Once you've done that, because the decisions of economic supply and demand and the behavioral finance decisions which connect the purchasing decisions of your product for goods or services, or to your outreach needs to reach a sector of the community, all have some relevance to this map we have of the economy, because we map economics, financial, legal, technology, communication, societal needs. It's our mind map to the world and the communication plans to help out. When you come over here, so we're here for conference and speaking opportunities too. That means the trade fair season's coming up. We're here. You may not want to go out and speak, or you may want someone that can draft you up a good speech, get you out there and give you some good information to talk about. We're good speech writers. We're good communicators. You may not love everything on this line here. This is our lean line. We're doing it our way. But if we go out to speak for you and we'll connect, we'll talk about your product, your service, and what it is that you want to convey as a message. We work to your message. This voice is our voice in communication. We can use it for your lines if you like it, or we can tweak it to what you like. But I think what we're starting to do is we're going to offer here that we're going to bring the boards and the videos over to other people. So if you're interested, you got a small business, you want to work in communication cycles, we can work a plan, can deal with traditional marketing, merchandising, calling, the phone, the web, the social lines for ICT, cloud, and mobile to get out there, the print, the PR, the conference and speaking lines. So if you have a trade fair and you want someone to go with you, listen, it's a lonely thing. If you're a small business and SME, sometimes you just want someone with you, someone that you can look to for confidence. You're trying to represent your business and brand. We'll take the time to learn about your business, what it is, and then we'll go with you as an asset to talk up the points that are of value to who you are and a fact-based point, to the points where you can help on needs. And that'd be our point to help you on the PRTC lines, which are distinct from our MFC and other lines, to the line that it's just about communications as a service to your business. Next point up in the line, there's these videos, mind boards. Attorneys are familiar with mind boards, so are people that do strategic research, what happens is basically we mind map the economy. Our lines are to think about the financials, and then we think about all the societal and the cross-sector lines of industry, nonprofits, NGOs, governments, and individual families, and how that all corresponds to an ecosystem in a round 360 world. Now, it may be the case that your drill down is just one precision point, like we made the example before. Now let's choose Queens. You just want to be in Queens, New York, and just talk about that ecosystem, and you want to get even more specific because you're only dealing with Forest Hills or something. Whatever you're dealing with, you drill down to that key point, and that key point is a point from which you can, relate, or you can zoom out. I got to deal with New York and London, New York, Boston, London, New York, Florida, Miami, whatever key points you need to reach, we can map it in, build out a strategy, and look to those lines. This is Dean Carson, DCarsonCPA PRTC lines to help on growth and communications. Our lines are about your lines, the economy and financial, and one key element is not just the needs on financials, which we're all aware of. Those are the financials, accounting, taxes, which happen over on the DCarsonCPA lines. But on the PRTC lines, these are lines for fact-based communications and awareness. Lines of awareness to help your outreach to the community, perhaps to build videos and do some mind mapping to take your entity and how your goods and services help the overall economy, but to help you get some good presence out there. If you're an SME, or if you're a very highly skilled individual, or someone who's looking to find a new way in the workforce, there are many ways we can help. So connect to DCarsonCPA PRTC lines. We'll get you some good rates. You can work with us, and we can help in your communications fact-based cycle. We're here to help on growth and awareness. I'm Dean Carson. I hope you find your way to the PRTC lines and call to us for your support on PR, communications, public relations, and outreach. Thanks so much, and hope to speak to you soon. Bye now.